because we're at that point in the offseason and there's nothing to really talk about, basically people are trying to speculate now that Giannis is going to leave the Milwaukee Bucks. If you read the whole quote, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, because it looked kind of convincing that he was probably thinking about leaving. But as a Bucks fan, this came as no real surprise to me, because Giannis does things like this routinely. I'm not going to say he does it all the time, but he's done it enough times to where it's become a pattern. I remember in 2020, after the bubble, he hinted at possibly leaving the Bucks. The thing was, before 2021, it was actually a lot worse, because Giannis was an expiring contract going into that season, and he basically trusted the front office to build around him more. And then not even like 2 weeks after he re-signed with the team, got his supermax, they traded for Jrue Holiday. So again, for Bucks fans, it's not really the end of the world, but at the same time, Giannis staying in Milwaukee is not 100% guaranteed. And I don't blame Giannis for putting that out in the media, putting pressure on the front office to freaking improve. If you watched my previous video, you know I'm all about player empowerment, and this is a part of it, putting pressure on the front office to do their job correctly. And looking at this Bucks roster, it's not like we can't win a championship. We've obviously won one before. The team is a lot different from 2021 to now, but obviously with this roster, we came up short twice in the playoffs. Granted, both years we were dealing with injuries to Giannis and Chris Middleton, but both of the series that we lost were winnable series, especially that Heat series. And I think with a new start, a new coach, we're going to see a different Milwaukee Bucks team in 2024. I have a lot of belief in Adrian Griffin. I think he's going to be the perfect coach, especially because he's more of like a player coach. And looking at what he did for the Toronto Raptors as an assistant, he made use of really good personnel defensively, and offensively he knew how to cater the offense around the star. I think with the pieces that we have on this Bucks team, paired with Adrian Griffin's great coaching ability, I think we're going to be pretty dangerous. Legitimately, the only concerns I have with this team is A, can Chris Middleton stay healthy? B, are we going to see borderline defensive player of the year Brook Lopez for one more season? C, will Giannis have more offensive help around him this year? And D, can we replicate what we did last year in terms of winning? Because given the landscape of the NBA right now, it's pretty wide open. I mean, like a team like the Nuggets, the way that they dominated the Western Conference last year, that just proved to me that the NBA really isn't as top heavy as it used to be. And especially looking at the Eastern Conference, I mean, it's been the same teams coming out of the East for the past 4 or 5 years. In my opinion, the only teams that are really threatening in the East is the Miami Heat if they get Damian Lillard, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers if, and this is a major if they can make their comeback, like bounce back season. If they can improve on the defensive side of the ball in terms of perimeter defense, then the Cavaliers will look a lot scarier. Other than that, the Heat and the Celtics are the only two teams that I can realistically see beating the Bucks in a 7-game series. And that's if the Heat end up training for Damian Lillard by the time the season starts, which they will. I mean, I don't really have doubt in that. I don't really know what's taking them so long, but it is what it is. And again, as far as Giannis potentially leaving the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't really see a whole lot of validity to that if we at least make it to like the Eastern Conference Finals again. If we can just come out the gates and prove that we're still that contending team that everyone saw in 2021 and 2022, and I really don't doubt the fact that the Bucks will have Giannis for the rest of his career. Also, not to mention, the Bucks have proven that they are willing to go the extra mile just to build a good team around Giannis. You saw how many picks we gave up just to trade for Jrue Holiday. We overcompensated like crazy just to get Jrue, just because we were desperate at that time. And it ended up resulting in a championship. So I'm not really too worried about Giannis's comments. Only way I could see things going south is if we flame out in the first round again, which I really doubt happens, especially because the Heat aren't going to be an 8 seed like they were last year. I think the Heat are actually going to be good, especially when they trade for Dame. And for the sake of argument, let's say that any other team in that playoffs played us in the first round, like the Nets or the Hawks, right? I seriously doubt either of those teams beating us in 5 games. And I think people see that we lost to the Heat in the first round. We lost to a quote-unquote 8 seed, even though that 8 seed made it to the NBA Finals. People see that we lost to an 8 seed, and then people just kind of forget how good we are. And as a Bucks fan, this isn't the first time that people were out here speculating that Giannis was going to leave and whatnot. Like, this really comes as no surprise to me. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. And if there are any Bucks fans watching this video, make sure to comment down below. Give me your thoughts on what Giannis said. Do you really think that Giannis would leave the Bucks at any point in his career? And also in the comments, let me know how good you think the Bucks will be this upcoming season. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video, and I'm out. Peace.